private sector on it and the regulators, but we have a plan for the island in general, and of course the airport and the hospital, they go hand in hand with what we want to do.
Then there's the Grand Lucayan deal that has still not been finalized by the previous administration.
But again, we're about bringing results. And so we're going to, again, be meeting very early next week on the status of that, where that's at, and really begin again to get the ball rolling with that. And so we have a lot of work to do, but we know that we can get it done. We have a master plan for the island, and so we're going to, again, hit the ground running right away.
The International Bazaar has also been a major concern for Grand Bahamians as it remains in a dilapidated state and an eyesore to the Freeport area.
Of course, I was Vice President of Port Authority, so I recognize some of the challenges there with there being 14 owners of the bazaar and just being able to move that forward. But again, things can happen. Things can happen if you have those that are in position to actually push for results, and that we cannot continue to allow that to remain in the condition that it is in.
But Minister Moxie says even with Grand Bahama's challenges, the people are her major concern, as there are many who have been suffering and in need of immediate relief. She's looking forward to a partnership with the newly appointed Minister of Social Services and Urban Development, the Honorable Obie Wilshcombe.
Of course, we've always talked about how the people of Grand Bahama need relief from everything that we've been going through.
Minister Moxie says Grand Bahama is not an overnight fix. However, together, through sustained partnerships and strategies, this PLP government is assuring a major comeback. The Minister of Health, the Honorable Michael Darville, by way of a press statement announcing several changes to the existing emergency powers order. The new order removes the requirement for a travel visa for inter-island travel within the Bahamas. Vaccinated persons traveling inter-island from New Providence and Grand Bahama will now only be required to produce a negative result, a rapid antigen test of the type approved by the Ministry of Health. Now, vaccinated travelers are required to produce a negative result of the RT-PCR test at the point of embarkation to the operator of the airline or vessel on which they are traveling. Persons traveling inter-island from any other island of the Bahamas, only a negative result of an antigen test of the type approved by the Ministry of Health is required. The requirement for secondary testing for inter-island travelers have also been removed. The travel health visa is still required for Bahamian citizens, residents, and visitors entering the Bahamas, but the payment of the travel health visa is no longer required for Bahamian citizens and residents returning home. The health minister noting that they are satisfied that these amendments to the order will lift a considerable financial burden from travelers, while at the same time ensuring health safety for the general public. Meantime, the health minister says expansive free COVID-19 testing remains high on the agenda of this administration. We have the report. Expansive free testing was one campaign promise made by the Progressive Liberal Party, and Health Minister Dr. Michael Darville says that remains vitally important in the fight against COVID-19.
We have been preaching about testing. There's a scientific measure behind our protocols. The virus is invisible, and in order to find it, we have to test for it. And so we're going to be implementing more rapid testing in our protocols while we still use the PCR diagnostic tests to confirm COVID.
Minister Darville says that they are already communicating with vendors and experts
all around the country, getting feedback how this should be implemented. We understand that one of the challenges with implementing free testing is to be able to monitor exactly what's going on. So there's a piece of sophisticated software that needs to be implemented in order to be effective in the testing.
He adds that rapid testing will be used as a screening tool, not necessarily a diagnostic tool.
because the FDA has already confirmed that the PCR is diagnostic, whereas the rapid test is not fully diagnostic, but it is a perfect tool. And under the Biden administration, they're looking to use rapid testing as a mean to trace the virus, find where it is, to be able to isolate and to be able to quarantine while the diagnostic PCR tests are in place.
And just how soon will this happen?
Well, you know, I mean, and this is my second day in office, and we're still moving around the country, but it is something that we want to do as soon as we possibly can implement it effectively.
Another day of new COVID cases in the triple digits, 113 in total, 106 in New Providence, 3 in Grand Bahama, 2 in Eleuthera, 1 in Andros, and 1 with location pending. 6 cases in New Providence has had a history of travel within the past 14 days. Meantime, hospitalizations are at 155 and 25 here on Grand Bahama. The Free National Movement securing 7 of the 39 seats in Parliament in last Thursday's general election. 3 of the FNM's parliamentary secretaries are here on Grand Bahama. Tonight, we hear for the first time from one of the newly elected FNM parliamentarians on Grand Bahama. Member of Parliament for Central Grand Bahama is assessing the results and the way forward for the party. Italia Hall reports.
Member of Parliament for Central Grand Bahama, Iram Lewis, securing the Grand Bahama seat for the second consecutive time during the September 16th general election. Lewis thanking the people of Central Grand Bahama for putting their confidence in him once again to be their voice in Parliament.
I pledge, as I did in the past, to represent them to the best of my ability. And of course, I can only do that with the support of a strong team. And I can say confidently that we do have a strong team in Central Grand Bahama, and our presence will continue to be felt.
Lewis assessing the Free National Movement's loss at the polls.
First of all, let me congratulate the Bahamian people. They spoke loudly. They exercised their democratic right. Those exercise their democratic right to come out and vote, and others exercise their democratic right to stay home and not vote. Of course, this is the lowest voter turnout in the history of our country, whether it's voter apathy, whether it is fear of persons who are in quarantine being mixed with the general voting population. For whatever reason, they exercise their right, and I fully accept that. The whole idea is now to do our postmortem, figure out to the best of our ability what went wrong, how we could fix what we perceive to be wrong, and move forward.
Now, an FNM Council meeting was held in the nation's capital on Wednesday evening. A decision was made for Dr. Hubert Minnis to lead the 7-member team in Parliament.
Dr. Minnis's whole pitch was that as a leader, he takes full responsibility for our loss. He did not want to duck out and not be present to defend his decisions, to defend his policies, to defend his legacy. And I respect that. I also was of the view that the council and the executive should have been heard. They were heard, and they agreed with the fact that he should stay on as he wishes to lead us into the convention, and at such time he made a declaration that he will not seek leadership at that point, and he will support whoever is elected at convention to lead the party.
Lewis says a new leader will be selected at the party's convention in November. The MP says he is learning as a young politician, and going forward, the work continues.
Yeah, my whole reason for getting into politics is to have a larger platform in which I could serve my people. Service is what I was all about. I represented this country on the national team for some 12 plus years, and I always wore the Bahamas across my chest. It was never Iram Lewis. It was all about serving the people. When I served in Kiwanis, it was all about service. When I served in church groups, it was all about service. When I served in the sporting organization, it was all about service. So again, I am here on behalf of the people, and I will continue to represent the people because that is what they elected me to do.
Italia Hall, ZNS Network News.
An apparent suicide under investigation over in Marsh Harbor, Abaco. Police say an adult male was found unresponsive, lying on his back inside a northern bedroom closet with an apparent gunshot wound to the head. EMS attended the scene and found no signs of life. The victim was taken to the Marsh Harbor Clinic where he was pronounced dead. Stay with us. There's more news on the other side of the break.
down now.
For your large and small generators, propane and butane stoves, LED flashlights, fuel canisters, coolers, batteries, gas and electric chainsaws, cooking supplies, tarps, matches, duct tape, and more.
The Bahamas Institute of Business and Technology transformed my life. It gave me the opportunities that I needed to succeed. I benefited from their affordability and was able to complete my associate's degree on time. Their day, evening, and weekend classes meant that I didn't have to leave home or quit my job to pursue my dreams. Generous scholarships and installment plans made it easy for me to cope financially. BIBT was the right choice for me. Why not make it your choice?
Apply today at BIBTBahamas.com.
Hammers and wrenches and drills, oh my. Do It Center carries a large variety of housewares, power tools, plumbing and electrical, hardware and paint. Open Monday to Saturday, 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. Located at the Gold Rock Complex. Everything to complete that job this season.
Take your time, take your time. You sure, right, yo?
Money short.
You sure? All right.
Money short.
Okay, okay.
Miss.
You know Louis a buying, right? Oh, well, you must be getting kids be late. Man, I ain't bring no money like that. Plus, you know you greedy.
Well, today is your lucky day.
Oh.
Check out the ZNS Shopping Network. See what deals they have on food.
Look here. Boy, Madcap got some super deals. Check it out. You got a $25 coupon for 15 and a $20 coupon for 10.
Well, Madcap it is.
All right. Hey, I rolling with you, eh?
Log on to ZNSShoppingNetwork.com and get your deals today.
Ice the coconut got this, cocoa ginger madness, juiciness ice the back this, sweet like a sugar in a dripping like ice, huh?
The King of the North is back. Power 104.5 FM.
Your #1 news team covering the North. The Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Welcome back. The Logos Hope ship is still docked at the Freeport Harbor, but it isn't your usual ship. The vessel is a literary world, and crew members are inviting Grand Bahamians to come aboard. Jamila Mizik has the details.
It is considered the world's largest floating book fair. Logos Hope, the book ship, is on Grands Bahama, located at berth 14 at the Freeport Harbor. The Christian vessel travels throughout the world with a group of volunteers who are dedicated to bringing knowledge, help, and hope. While on island, persons will have the opportunity to peruse the ship, meet the crew, and explore over 5,000 book titles. Captain James Berry says there are 270 crew and staff from all over the world, and it is a pleasure to have visitors come on board. He says they're thankful for the opportunity to be here.
We have a crew, and as many of you will not understand, the captain can't run the ship without the crew. They're one of the most vital component, and I'm very proud of the crew we have here from more than 50 different countries, all working together to keep this ship running. But as much as I'm dependent on the crew, we're also dependent on you, on the permissions, on the exemptions, on the work that you do to bring the ship into port and to enable us to open. And I do thank you for that, and also that we can go on shore and enjoy all that Freeport and Grand Bahama have to offer.
Director of Logos Hope, Randy Graby, is no stranger to the Bahamas. He says this is the ship's 13th visit to the Bahamas, and they're delighted to be able to open the book fair to the public. Graby notes that their message is simple.
Our goal is bringing help and hope. That's what our heart of service is unto the people of the world. And I can tell you, every single nation we go to, there are hurting people. You know that. You've traveled as well, you know. And it's not only just hurting people that don't have hope. They actually don't know what's going to happen next in their life. And we're a group of hundreds of crew members from many nationalities that serve a living God on purpose. That we know that true hope doesn't come from a better job or a bigger home or a nicer car. We understand that hope really comes from our God and our Father, the hope that we have in Him.
General Manager of the Grants Bahama Tourism Office, Stephen Johnson, expressing appreciation to the crew for returning to the island.
50 years operating as a company is just amazing. And I think Bahamians need to come out and support. They've helped us out during Dorian and other events, hurricanes. And so I think we need to pay back now and have everybody come on board and purchase books and et cetera, et cetera. I'm told there's food on board as well. Soon to be an international flair, right? Great. So I just wanted just reading through all of the information on Logos of Hope is just amazing. The country you've been to, the people you've helped and support. And we are truly appreciative to have you here.
Now the ship will be on island until Tuesday, October 12th, and is open every day except Monday from 11 a.m. to 6:30 p.m. Proof of vaccination is not required for persons to come on board. However, all COVID-19 protocols will be followed. Jamila Mizik, ZNS Network News.
The Beacon School receiving a significant donation from the Gaming Board in Freeport. Director of the Investigation, Licensing and Regulatory Compliance and District Assistant Secretary at the Gaming Board, Kayleesa Simmons, says following Hurricane Dorian, their office had to relocate to Settlers Way. The decision was then made to partner with the school in the community. The organization visited the Beacon School earlier to see what their needs were and decided that they would give back.
Visited and saw the needs of the school, and we would have spoken with the principal, Ms. Moss, who would have welcomed us. And so this morning we are here as partners to donate an item to the school, being a stove and 2 books. One of the books, both books, were written by one of the member of staff's daughter, and it deals with children as to their intake of sugar.
And we wanted to bring some hope. We wanted to bring some assistance to this school, which has played such an integral role, an important role in the community. And we want to certainly support them in any way that we can. As an organization, particularly the Freeport office, we try to reach out to the community as much as we can.
Principal of the institution, T.T. Mackenzie Moss, says the donation will go a long way in assisting with their entrepreneurship and trade program.
We open our sheltered workshop up every Wednesday and Thursdays from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. to the public. And we have a jazz cafe where the kids make salads and wraps. And we sell to the public and also to the school. So with us having an additional stove, this will definitely help the process and make it smoother and also make it more efficient. So we are so grateful for this donation. Partnership with different organizations is so important because we alone cannot do it. It takes a community to definitely run the school. So with us getting other partners from different places definitely assist us where we may fall short, the community comes up and assists us.
And that's a look at stories making news. Here's a check on what's happening with sports with RJ Philippe.
Good evening, I'm Jay Philippe and welcome to Sports. Minor League Baseball player Tanaj Thomas and his Greenborough's Grasshoppers has advanced to the championship round against the Bowling Green Hot Rods, an affiliate of the Tampa Bay Rays. We caught up with the ace pitcher for this update.
Right now, our expectations going into this season was to win it all. So right now, it was a big accomplishment. Just getting to this point and just being here with a great group of guys. It's always fun to be here with a great group of guys, and going into the series, we expect to come out on top. We expect to win, but we know it's going to be a hard series, a hard week of games just to play against these guys because they're a really good team. But we just have to stay focused and play our game, and we think we can pull it off for sure.
Now that series is the best of 5, which will run into the weekend. Also in sports, Prime Minister, the Honorable Philip Brave Davis, sending his congratulations to Jonquel Jones earning a stellar MVP season in the WNBA. Romiko Knowles has this one.
Prime Minister Davis praising Jonquel Jones on the MVP win. Through a press statement, the nation's leader says, as an avid sports fan, he's elated to congratulate Jonquel Jones on winning the Women's National Basketball Association's WNBA 2021 Most Valuable Player Award on behalf of the Bahamian people. Jonquel has had a fantastic season. Her discipline, determination, and exciting play have been remarkably impressive, the Prime Minister says with a sense of beaming pride. He's followed Jonquel's journey from a little girl in Holmes Rock, Grand Bahama, to the professional ranks. In 2017, she was the league's most improved player, 6th Woman of the Year in 2018, a 3-time All-Star, and now MVP. He notes that Jonquel's historic MVP achievement is yet another glorious mark in our nation's rich chapters of sports greatness on the global stage, adding that the government sees sports as a part of our national development, championship identity, and a component of our promotional strength. The Prime Minister says inclusive of his government's winning wave and committed approach is to inspire and discover more Jonquel Jones-like success stories. Romiko Knowles, ZNS Total Sports.
And that's a quick check on sports. I'm Jay Philippe. Be blessed.
Yes, sir. What you saying, bro?
Man, everything cool. Radio weekend dead hot. What you doing for lunch?
You catch me here checking out the ZNS Shopping Network site? I looking at this out to sea deal.
Yeah? How do one go?
For $30, you get a $50 coupon. 20% off fish at the stand, plus you get $10 in minutes.
Man, you can't beat that.
Well, out to sea it is. Log on to www.znsshoppingnetwork.com. Select the island of your choice and shop anywhere, anytime.
The Ministry of Health is working to ensure the safety of the Bahamian people. Help us minimize the risk that coronavirus poses to citizens, residents, and visitors by following these 5 easy steps. Step 1. Wet your hands with clean water, apply soap and lather for 20 seconds by rubbing them together. Include the top of your hands between your fingers and under your fingernails. Rinse your hands under clean water, then dry them with a paper towel or air dry them. Remember to wash your hands before and after eating, preparing a meal, changing a diaper, or caring for the sick, and always after using the bathroom, touching money, shaking hands, or taking out the trash. Step 2. Cough and sneeze in your elbow or upper sleeve, not in your hands, not in the air. Or you can cover your nose and mouth with a tissue when you cough or sneeze. Put your used tissue in the trash bin when you're finished. Remember to wash your hands with soap and clean water after you cough or sneeze. Also, remember never to spit on the ground, roads, or in open spaces. Step 3. Ensure that raw meat is properly handled and cooked thoroughly. Step 4. Avoid sharing drinking glasses, eating utensils like spoons and forks, or sharing personal items such as toothbrushes and towels. Germs can live on surfaces we touch, so wipe and disinfect surfaces where germs can live, and keep your surroundings clean. Step 5. Avoid close contact with anyone showing symptoms of respiratory illness, such as coughing or sneezing. Should you or anyone you know feel that you have been exposed to the coronavirus, contact the surveillance unit of the Ministry of Health immediately. To reach us, call 502-4776, 502-4790, or 502-4737. We want Bahamians and those that live with and visit us to remain safe from the coronavirus. To do this, we need the help of each and every one of you to follow the simple steps we have shared. Let's stay safe, Bahamas.
The King of the North is back. Power 104.5 FM.
Your #1 news team covering the North. Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Katie Forbes, you are our Facebook friend of the day, and we want to thank you for your support. And that is going to do it for us here in the North. On behalf of our entire ZNS News team, I'm Shoshana Wolf-Farquharson. Enjoy your weekend. The Bahamas Tonight continues.
Coming up in the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report, swearing-in ceremonies held for the Prime Minister and opposition leader today, more than $2 million in cash seized by police in Inagua, and another group of Haitian migrants apprehended. The Bahamas Tonight, the National Report, starts after this.
It is normal to feel overwhelmed, lonely, scared, or sad during a crisis. Coping can be difficult when your daily schedule is interrupted. Drinking may feel good, but is not the best way to cope with stress. It can worsen your mental and physical health and impact your family. So how can you cope? Keep physically active, like taking a walk or dancing. Cook and eat nutritious food, including fruits and vegetables. Engage in indoor activities like playing games and staying connected with family and friends. Meditate, encourage yourself, or enjoy music. Still feeling overwhelmed? We are here to listen. This message is brought to you by these partners.
This portion of the news is brought to you by BTC Superfast Internet for Less. Best rate, no debate. Sign up today.
Good evening, I'm Jimenita Swain. Welcome to the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report. Thanks for tuning in. Prime Minister and Minister of Finance, the Honorable Philip Davis, is in New York City tonight, preparing to deliver the national address of the Bahamas to the 76th session of the United Nations General Assembly tomorrow afternoon. A meeting, he says, is crucial to attend in person to communicate to the global community the priorities of his administration. He says it's also key to lay the foundation for the critical global conference on climate change set for Scotland in November. Cleopatra Murphy was among the reporters the Prime Minister spoke with before leaving the country on his first official overseas trip this afternoon.
Prime Minister the Honorable Philip Davis is hoping to impress upon global leaders the importance of equitable access to COVID-19 vaccines as he makes his first appearance before the 76th session of the United Nations General Assembly in New York Saturday. The nation's leader leads a delegation including Minister of State in the Office of the Prime Minister, the Honorable Miles Laroda, and officials from the Prime Minister's office and the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Prior to his departure, Davis shared what he hopes the outcome of this trip will be.
I want to remind the world that when one country being safe is not sufficient. We are only safe when all countries are. And in that regard, we wish to have reasonable access to vaccines, which is one of the fundamental tools for this fight against COVID. And we are going to press upon the world leaders that we need to ensure that small island development states, or SIDS, are desperately in need of vaccines, and they ought to be liberal with their donations to countries such as ours.
Addressing the COVID-19 fight at home, while Minister of Health and Wellness, the Honorable Dr. Michael Darville, told the media Thursday the country may need emergency funding to assist with the COVID-19 fight because some suppliers and others have to be paid. Davis says he does not want to rely on borrowing.
We are looking at how best we could meet those demands, and we are hoping that borrowing will be the last resort. We're hoping to be able to enhance our collection of revenue to enable us to avoid borrowing, and what is available we'll use and deploy wisely to ensure that we meet the challenges that he's facing in the healthcare system.
The theme for this year's UN General Assembly is A Presidency of Hope, delivering for people, for the planet, and for prosperity. With that in mind, Prime Minister Davis says climate change and its impact on nations like the Bahamas will be a key part of his address to the body.
I wish to point out to the world that small island developing countries such as ours are the victims of larger developed states who contributed much to the ozone depletion, and therefore more attention ought to be paid to assisting us and providing the funding that's necessary to assist us in building resiliency insofar as our infrastructure.
Davis is also set to participate in a bilateral meeting with UN Secretary General His Excellency Antonio Gutierrez. Deputy Prime Minister the Honorable Chester Cooper will act as Prime Minister until he returns on Sunday. Cleopatra Murphy, ZNS Network News.
And you can tune in right here on the ZNS Network between 10 a.m. and 1 p.m. tomorrow to watch Prime Minister Davis deliver the national address of the Bahamas to the 76th United Nations General Assembly in New York City. Well, before leaving for New York, Prime Minister Davis was sworn in as the new Minister of Finance. Governor General His Excellency, the Most Honorable Sir Cornelius Smith, administered the oath during the swearing-in ceremony at the office of the Governor General. The Prime Minister's swearing-in completes the week of swearing-in of ceremonies for cabinet ministers and parliamentary secretaries of the new Progressive Liberal Party government. Well, two of the country's newest parliamentary secretaries, the Member of Parliament-elect for Nassau Village, Jamal Strawn, has been charged with the task of providing immediate practical support in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, while the Member of Parliament-elect for South Beach, Bacchus Roll, has been assigned to the Ministry of Works and Utilities. Both parliamentarians thanked Prime Minister the Honorable Philip Davis, QC, for the appointments.
It feels good to be working in the area that you are familiar with, that you have some knowledge about. I can't wait to see what's happening at Works, to learn the system, and to be a better parliamentarian.
There's one thing working at the administrative level and now being in the decision-making seat. It means that we can actually improve and actually push the government's will. So not only do I bring the instrumental or institutional knowledge, but I bring that youthful exuberance to bring it true and bring it to fruition.
While Strawn and Roll feel their current expertise and experience will help them in their new public roles.
Well, more than likely just to streamline the process of visa applications, and for one, that was something that was existing prior to 2017, and I just feel as though foreign affairs over the last 4 years has really been stagnant. So I seek to bring that institutional administrative knowledge to the forefront just so we can streamline and bring it more contemporary and make foreign affairs as dynamic as it can be.
Oh, certainly a lot has changed. Human resources has changed. Things are moving in a direction that we're not very happy with. So we want to see some changes, and hopefully I can help to implement some of those.
Former Prime Minister, the Most Honorable Dr. Hubert Minnis, was sworn in as the country's leader of Her Majesty's Loyal Opposition today. The ceremony taking place at the office of the Governor General on East Bay Street. The opposition leader was accompanied by his wife and members of his parliamentary team, who he thanked for electing him as leader of the opposition. Dr. Minnis noted that one of the extraordinary features of our parliamentary democracy is the peaceful transfer of office.
In our constitutional system, Her Majesty's Loyal Opposition is an essential democratic safeguard. It is our duty to work with the government when its policies and agenda are in the best interest of the Bahamian people. It is our duty to oppose when we believe that the government has gone astray or is not pursuing the greater good. We will ensure the people's resources are spent properly. We will ensure there is accountability. We will not just oppose for opposing's sake, We will offer suggestions to the government.
The Caribbean Women in Leadership Organization congratulating the 7 women who won seats in the House of Assembly during the recent general election. That includes the Minister of Education, the Honorable Glenys Hanna Martin, the Honorable JoBeth Colby Davis, Minister of Housing and Transport, the Honorable Ginger Moxie, Minister of Grand Bahama, the Honorable Pia Glover Roll, Minister of State for Public Service, the Honorable Lisa Raming, Minister of State for Social Services and Urban Development, Bamboo Town Member of Parliament Patricia DeBrew, and Seabreeze Member of Parliament Leslie Miller Bryce. Civil highlighted in a statement released today that the breakthrough of these 7 women is momentous, especially considering that previously only 5 of the 39 elected members of the Bahamas' parliament were women. It noted, however, that opposition party had also nominated 7 women to run in this year's election. According to the release, the Prime Minister made history with the appointment of 5 women to serve in his cabinet and also guaranteed that women will be well represented in the Senate. Well, still to come, the Health Minister acknowledging more resources are needed to fight COVID-19 and police making a multi-million-dollar cash seizure. Those stories and more when we return.
And remember to tune in to the Morning Edition with LaDawn Davis and Charles Fisher at 7 o'clock weekday mornings. We also have news updates at every hour starting at 2 p.m. You can then watch the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, at 6:30, and the National Report live at 7 p.m. All right here on the ZNS Network.
This portion of the news was brought to you by Sun Oil Limited Shell, fueling journeys that matter.
Welcome to a world where hope is still loud, where dreams are still relevant, and determination has no substitute. Welcome to a nation where the people are still warm, resilient, and innovative. And Commonwealth Bank is at the center of it all, giving innovation and progress an extra push for more than 60 years. We're here for Bahamians because we are Bahamian. Commonwealth Bank, your leader in personal banking services.
Across the Bahamas, we're more connected than ever before as we upgrade and expand our network, elevating your connection with BTC Superfast Fiber Internet. More people can access the best high-speed internet on our upgraded all-fiber optic network, providing you with a better experience working remotely, learning virtually, accessing more from home, and connecting with more opportunities. Visit our website or any store to upgrade to our super-fast fiber internet experience on the Bahamas' best fiber network.
KFC Saucy Wings gives you the choice. A precisely calculated chicken-to-sauce ratio for that perfect wing experience, or a totally wild, completely coated sauce adventure that transcends traditional flavor boundaries. Whatever your choice, get sauced with KFC Saucy Wings for the perfect amount of flavor. Saucy Wings at KFC Nassau. So good.
Life is better with Rubis Rewards. Just fuel up and swipe for your chance to win free fuel, cash back in our stores, restaurant and store discounts from our partners, plus prizes and surprises. It doesn't get better than this. Your Rubis Reward tag is free at every Rubis service station in New Providence. Get yours today. Rubis, it's just better.
I was hungry, you fed me. Naked, you clothed me. They will know us by our love.
Can't imagine how it felt as you lay there. Through the dark, through the heat, through the cold. With your friend by your side, held his hand and watched him die. And you cried as you prayed for his soul.
I can't imagine how it felt as you stood there. Through the winds that would just not go away. Kiss my wife, tell my son, my work on earth is done. You're the one I can still hear them say, oh.
Is there anybody out there listening?
but we're here and we care. And yes, we feel your pain.
Oh, yeah.
And yes, we feel your pain.
Some of us lost our jobs, but some of us realized just how essential our jobs were to others. Some of y'all work me dead hard though. Who, me? Be the reason somebody feels welcome, seen and heard, valued in love and supported. This Character Day, October 20th, we are saluting our essential workers. Log on to CharacterDayBahamas.org to nominate a hidden hero today.
This portion of the news was brought to you by McDonald's. McDonald's, I'm loving it.
Welcome back. New changes to the emergency powers COVID-19 orders today that will impact travel. A travel health visa is no longer required for inter-island travel within the Bahamas, but is required for Bahamian citizens, residents, and international visitors entering the country. The payment of the travel health visa fee is no longer required for Bahamian citizens and residents returning to the Bahamas. Vaccinated persons traveling from New Providence and Grand Bahama will only be required to produce a negative rapid antigen test approved by the Ministry of Health, and non-vaccinated travelers are now required to produce a negative RT-PCR test at the point of embarkation to the operator of the airline or vessel on which they're traveling. Persons traveling throughout the other family islands need only present a negative rapid antigen test. Government is satisfied that these emergency order amendments will lift a considerable financial burden from travelers, while at the same time ensuring health safety for the general public. 113 new positive COVID-19 cases, that's 59 women and 54 men to report tonight. 106 here in New Providence, 3 in Grand Bahama, 2 in Eleuthera, 1 in Andros, while the location of a new case is pending, pushing the national count of COVID cases now to 20,603, with 1,673 of them active. 155 people are in hospital battling the virus. 136 are moderately ill, while 19 people are in the intensive care unit. To date, 79 people recently recovered from COVID-19, while the national death toll is 522. The latest COVID dashboard also shows that over 143,000 RT-PCR tests have been administered so far. Well, Minister of Health and Wellness, the Honorable Dr. Michael Darville, told reporters before Thursday's cabinet meeting that the country needs quick access to additional resources to get a firm grip on the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic and the challenges facing the healthcare system.
There's definitely a need for emergency funding. We have some of our suppliers as well as individuals involved in the fight who need to be paid. And the Prime Minister has instructed me to find out exactly what is happening on the ground. And I've done that. And I have a few more places to visit. I intend to visit the Sandilands Rehabilitation Center and then do across the island tour of our clinics to see where we are at and how we can bring relief to those residents and the healthcare professionals on those islands.
The health minister referenced his tour of the South Beach Clinic earlier this week, noting that like other healthcare facilities, manpower challenges have been identified. He also singled out potential space to expand COVID-19 beds.
We have to look at where we are financially and begin to start the process to improve the manpower resources at these facilities so that we would be better able to move at a rapid rate and get our COVID situation, as well as to improve upon our primary healthcare facilities.
From the crime beat this Friday, Inagua police arrested 2 men at the Inagua International Airport yesterday after a search revealed 4 suitcases filled with a large amount of cash. Police confirmed the total $2,420,674. Police Press Liaison Officer Assistant Superintendent Audley Peters provided initial details on the case to reporters after the men and cash landed at Odyssey Aviation yesterday afternoon.
Officers from the Drug Enforcement Unit
and the Marine Support Unit were conducting an inquiry on the airport at Inagua International Airport. The officers noticed when two males disembarked an aircraft and were acting in a suspicious manner. They were approached and they were informed that they were suspected of being in possession of dangerous drugs and firearm, and a search would have been warranted to be conducted. The officers conducted a field search and found an undetermined amount of cash on that aircraft. Both suspects were arrested for being in possession of the proceeds of crime and were brought to the capital.
Also making news tonight, another group of Haitian migrants apprehended by the Royal Bahamas Defense Force. The group of 151 included 123 men and 28 women who were found in a Haitian sloop, and all appeared to be in fair health. This latest exercise comes as the Marines were transporting 86 Haitian migrants who were apprehended on Wednesday to Matthew Town, Inagua. All of the migrants are now in the hands of immigration officials for further processing. This latest apprehension exercise amounts to 307 Haitian migrants apprehended within the past 2 days. Meantime, police and Defense Force officers are providing security detail for the migrants who are being detained at the police station in Inagua. In other news tonight, members of the Bahamas, or rather members of the business community, patiently waiting on the anticipated reduction of value-added tax in the country. This as government has committed to reducing VAT from 12% to 10%. Here's the president of the Bahamas Chamber of Commerce and Employers Confederation, Crystal Rutherford Ferguson.
We will wait to see what will happen in that regard, and no matter what happens, the Chamber is available to work with government to be a part of that dialogue. And I would just strongly encourage that we continue the symbiotic relationship that has always been enjoyed through the Chamber's relationship with any government of the day. So in terms of ease of doing business, that is still a challenge for businesses. So we'd like to see a continuation of digitization of all government agencies where possible, and utilizing technology in a manner that will increase efficiency and productivity.
The Chamber executive also reacting to the impact of the country's recent downgrade by international credit rating agency Moody's.
There's no direct impact on local businesses in the short term. And though this is a generalization and there may be a few exceptions to this point, in the long term, however, the indirect impact will be that consideration will have to be given to raising taxes to compensate for the higher cost of government borrowing. Now, all that being the case, the Moody's downgrade, the challenges brought on by COVID-19, the Chamber of Commerce remains ready, willing, and able to continue to partner with the government of the Bahamas in navigating this challenge and on other business-related matters.
Virgin Atlantic Airlines making a major comeback to the Caribbean this fall. The airline now expanding its reach into 9 regional destinations, of them the Bahamas remaining a premier choice. The pent-up demand comes after the company announced the commencement of twice-weekly flights between London's Heathrow Airport and Nassau starting in November. Virgin Atlantic's country manager for the Caribbean, Hannah Swift, says demand continues to increase at 50% week by week.
The demand coming in and out of the Caribbean is actually really positive. So the outlook over winter is definitely positive, especially as the UK has started to gradually relax their travel restrictions. We've definitely seen the demand increase. The trends are showing us that customers coming out of the UK and even out of the Caribbean, they want to treat themselves. We've all had a really rough kind of 18 months, so they want to treat themselves.
The United Kingdom-based airline has taken steps to ensure safety is the top priority on board.
We actually added in additional measures. So on board now, you'll find that every customer gets a wellness pack. That wellness pack contains 3 masks. It contains little wipes in packets, and it contains hand sanitizer. So even though we've increased our cleaning, we're very meticulous on board. And throughout the entire journey, from checking in to when you get off, everything is as clean as it can be.
This portion of the news was brought to you by McDonald's. McDonald's, I'm loving it.
Not having the choice to dine indoors is so 2020. Make your appointment to be vaccinated today.
This message has been brought to you by the Government of the Bahamas in conjunction with the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas.
When you want to save money on your tile supplies, who you gonna call? The Tile King. When you tile your house and you want to look good, who you gonna call? The Tile King.
Visit the new Tile King showroom, which is internationally recognized as the finest tile showroom in the Caribbean, located in the Builders Mall on Wolf Road.
The Tile King. Who you gonna call? The Tile King.
Tiles on everything.
While it's encouraging that the national COVID-19 vaccine rollout is going successfully, it's not the only precaution to reduce the spread of the virus in our communities. It's important to continue practicing safety protocols because it is our social responsibility to protect ourselves and to protect others.
Wash your hands for a friend with a weaker immune system.
Only read and share information from trusted sources to avoid unnecessary panic.
I'm gonna need y'all to avoid these large crowds. We could have loved ones at home who have underlying health conditions. Do it.
Practicing safety protocols is an act of brotherly and sisterly love.
The life you save may just be yours as well as your neighbor.
Together we will win.
We will win.
Tourism today. Bahamas tourism today.
The Bahamas Ministry of Tourism, Aviation and Investments is so excited to welcome our new Deputy Prime Minister and Minister, the Honorable I. Chester Cooper. The Tourism State team spoke to the DPM about his new role.
I'm excited about my new role to serve the Bahamian people and to serve the Ministry of Tourism. Tourism, as you know, is the economic engine of our country. There are close connections between aviation and, of course, with investments. Most of our investment projects are tourism related. But most importantly, I believe, to get the rebound of tourism again. Tourists coming back to our shores after a very difficult period will be my primary focus. I'm pleased to have great professionals here at the Ministry of Tourism who've been doing this all along. They are the experts. I will be here to support and facilitate them. But we've started the transition and we've met with most of the professionals already. This is going to continue over the next few days. We'll talk more about our vision for tourism and the rebound of tourism.
Our DPM also shared some of his key areas of interest in the tourism industry.
Well, I'm a family islander. I'm shamelessly Exomian. I'm looking forward to seeing how we can work with the many family islands really to boost their tourism as well. Fly fishing, boutique resorts, ecotourism, sustainable tourism development. Those are things that's near and dear to me, near and dear to my heart. Naturally, we need more stopovers. Those are the people who spend money. Director General has spoken with me about where the focus is and how we will really revamp and really ramp up those numbers. So we're going to be working diligently to do that.
We are thrilled to welcome DPM Cooper as we continue to work towards an even better tourism industry. I am Danielle Bodie, and this is Tourism Today.
Monday through Saturday, 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. with double stamps on Sundays. That's Super Value and Quality Supermarkets. Devon corned beef, 12 ounce, $2.49. Par Excellence long grain rice, 5 pound, $3.49. Del Monte cut green beans, 15 ounce, 99 cents. Boneless chicken breast, $2.89 per pound. Fresh tomatoes, $1.79 per pound. Take these groceries home and Super Value tote bags, 2 for $3.
Join up for life insurance. Secure the ones that you love. Join up with Family Guardian. We offer full protection. Join the family. Join the family. Family Guardian. Protect the ones you love. A friend that you can trust. Family Guardian.
Thanks for staying with us. In labor news, Trade Union Congress President Obie Ferguson has high expectations of the new Progressive Liberal Party government to fulfill the Memorandum of Understanding signed back on August 25th. In fact, Ferguson revealed at a press conference today that a letter of courtesy request will be penned immediately to initiate discussions at the earliest opportunity.
Trust me, that will be performed to the letter. I mean, we can sit there, so we got something, and nothing happening. We ain't gonna rush it, but we can do it on a timely basis, because we don't want no 3 weeks and 4 weeks left before we do what we're supposed to do. We want to do it in an orderly way. Other issues like negotiation, all those outstanding agreements that has been pending, that don't take long to do. So we set some timeline, and we will move. They sign it, so we expect it to happen, but we will give them time. I mean, this is a new government. You got to give them one good couple of days, to sort themselves out who's going to handle what and what ministry. And then we're going to go to each minister with specific portfolio for certain unions.
Also agreed to in that Memorandum of Understanding is that the Labor House on Wolf Road will be completely renovated at the reported expense of the government and designated as an historical building and renamed posthumously in honor of the father of the labor movement, Sir Randall Fox. Ferguson says among the first of many benefits workers will receive is participating in a legal aid clinic.
How could you oppose us meeting with the government every quarter to review issues to avoid us taking industrial action? How could you oppose that? How could you oppose the government allocating land to the labor movement to put up their head office, etc.? How could you oppose the nurses, the doctors, officers of this, the TUC, being on boards that you know what is going on?
President of the National Congress of Trade Unions, Bernard Evans, offering condolences on behalf of the officers and affiliates of the Congress to the family of the late Dr. Thomas Bastian, who passed away this past Wednesday. Evans says much of the framework that exists for labor can be attributed to Dr. Bastian, who provided his expertise to the legislative framework for the Industrial Relations and Employment Act, among others.
He was a pioneer for a general union. You know, we often have these unions that are closed off to whatever particular area of expertise. For instance, you have ZNS union, you have BPL union, you have water and sewers, but the regular worker out there, he wanted to organize a general workers union because he was passionate about every worker in the Bahamas being a part of some union or coming under the protection of a labor union. And so I know that his legacy will live on because a lot of him is in all of us that have taken the step to come forward and to be able to speak out for workers' rights and protection.
Shell Unleaded improves your fuel economy, giving increased miles per gallon, allowing you to do more of what you really want. Special additives used in Shell Unleaded improve your engine's efficiency. So go further with Shell Unleaded. Venture out to beaches, Junkanoo, and festivals and bring home memories that will last a lifetime. Shell, fueling journeys that matter.
and make plans for them even before they're old enough to talk. You spend a lifetime of sacrifice to pave the way for their success and create a tomorrow you too can be proud of. Can you tell who is the investor? At Leno, we believe everyone who has ever put a penny aside for a future dream is an investor. If you're new to investing, Leno's financial experts stand ready to design plans based on your goals. Let's sit down and explore the options one-on-one and see how, together, we can make your dreams come true. Whether considering traditional investments like a new home, car, your own business, security in retirement, or your child's college fund, we take the confusion out of the process and make an investor out of you. Call 396-3225 for an appointment. Leno, your bridge to the future.
Not having the choice to dine indoors is so 2020. Make your appointment to be vaccinated today.
This message has been brought to you by the Government of the Bahamas in conjunction with the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas.
Hey guys, it's Shay here and welcome to our first installment of Alive's Community Corner. Not only is Alive a digital service provider, and beyond those great deals and services that we provide you, Alive is committed to the community. So here's a look at what we did for Mother's and Father's Day. This episode, and we look forward to sharing with you so many more of our community moments. So why Alive? Because you deserve it.
I just reached. I asked him now because they close in like 5 minutes. Okay, hold on. Oh, sorry. Hi. I heard y'all added more things to pay, like government fees or something.
Yes, sir. We're now accepting payments for Department of Immigration, Department of Labor, and the Royal Bahamas Police Force.
Okay, good. I come to pay a police record and a labor certificate.
Okay, no problem. What's the name?
Uncle Boogaloo.
What's the first name?
Uncle.
And the last?
Boogaloo. He in the system.
Are you paying by cash, sir?
Coins.
Pardon?
Oh, and you could put a couple of them coins on my BPL bill. They just cut me off last night. I don't know what happened. Hey, Uncle, you straight. Yeah, don't forget my horse fish now.
Pay your government fees today at Cash and Go.
Mayor Meguana Administrator Millie Dawkins says residents are hoping that much-needed repairs to the airport on that southern island will get underway soon. She says the upgrades are necessary to ensure that members of the traveling public are as comfortable as possible when using the facility.
The terminal, the airport terminal, it needs to be renovated. It needs roof repairs. It needs to have a seating facility in the area. It needs booths for the ticket agents like that. People travel. They have flights coming into Meguana on Mondays and Fridays. Bahamas Air would come, and then they would sometimes have private flights come in also.
It's time now for a check on Family Island weather with Chief Meteorologist Basil Dean. Good evening, Basil.
Good evening, Jiminita. Outside of our studios, we're under cloudy skies with some light rain showers. The relative humidity 74%. West-southwest winds at 4 miles per hour. The barometric pressure 1,013.6 millibars. That's 29.93 inches, and the pressure is steady. Temperatures around the islands this evening, they are brought to you by Family Guardian Insurance Company. We're protecting you. 83 degrees in Freeport, Grand Bahama, Grand Turk, Key, and Marsh Harbor, Abaco. The Berry Islands, 85. Alistown, Bimini, 83 degrees. 84 in Harbor Island. Roxanne, Lutra, 84 as well. Black Point, Exuma, Kemp Space, South Andros, and Fresh Creek in Central Andros, all reporting 81 degrees. 84 in Artistown, Cat Island, San Salvador, and Rum Key. Georgetown at 85 degrees. 85 is also in Ragged Island, Clarence, Long Island, and Crooked Island. Betsy Bay, Meguana, 86. Acklands, 86. Matthewtown, Unagua, 85. And the Turks and Caicos Islands also registering 85 degrees. And your boating forecast tonight is brought to you by Builders Mall, home of FYP, the Tile King, and the Paint Setter. For all areas tonight through Saturday, light and variable winds with flat seas, but there'll be some light swells as well. High temperature takes place at 10:58 tonight with another high tide at 11:22 tomorrow morning. And then as we take you into Sunday in the northwestern islands, the winds will increase behind a weak frontal system, which will drift through the northwest Bahamas. The winds becoming north to northeast at 12 to 18 knots. Wave heights building 3 to 6 feet over the ocean. Tide-wise, low at 5:44 in the morning. High tide will take place at 5 minutes past midday. And for the central and southeastern islands on Sunday, the light and variable winds with flat seas will continue. That's going to do it for your boating forecast. It's time now for your international temperatures, and they are brought to you by Royal Star Assurance.
If you see me on the dance floor, man, and kind on by. Hey, sculling, moving, raking, scraping, man, to this beat. Well, sliding, slipping, dipping, dancing all across the floor. Whining, bumping, jerking, Lord, I'm holding my head.
And that's going to do it for your international temperatures, brought to you by Royal Star Assurance. But stay tuned, your extended weather forecast is still ahead.
The Ministry of Health wishes to advise members of the public that prevention is key during this flu season. Practicing good cough hygiene can make the difference between you and your loved ones getting the flu or spreading the influenza virus. Good cough hygiene habits include covering your mouth and nose with a tissue when coughing or sneezing, and proper disposal of the tissue in a trash bin. Coughing or sneezing into your upper sleeve near your inner elbow and not your hands when a tissue is not available. Avoiding the use of handkerchiefs and towels as they hold germs, becoming a nest for the virus. And frequently washing your hands with soap and water, which is listed as one of the most important steps you can take to avoid getting sick and passing the virus on to others. If you have any questions about how to practice good cough hygiene to avoid catching or spreading the flu, contact your nearest community clinic or the Health Education Division at the Ministry of Health. This message is brought to you by the Ministry of Health in partnership with the Public Hospitals Authority.
Large beach and pool parties are not ideal in this COVID environment, but keeping just a few friends close while in the water is actually a good idea. So here's another pointer. They say the more the merrier, and when you're planning on spending a day of fun in the water, that might be what you want to do. Swimming with someone else, especially when doing aquatic activities, is a standard safety practice. If you're by yourself and there's an emergency, having someone to call for help or assist is much better than struggling alone.
Swimming with a buddy, not swimming alone, allowing you to have the ability to have somebody with you if you get into trouble. It's nice to be able to go in a social environment with a buddy and be able to talk and enjoy the environment.
Crystal Darling, ZNS Digital Media.
During this pandemic, it is our duty to ensure that all citizens, residents, and visitors are adhering to the COVID-19 safety protocols. Every business establishment must have distance markers 6 feet apart, indicating where each customer must stand at check-in points. Have a hand sanitizing station visible at the entrance of the store for all customers to sanitize their hands before entering the store. I am Ambassador Latario Farrington of the COVID-19 Enforcement Unit. Save a life that may be yours.
This message brought to you by the Ministry of National Security in conjunction with the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas.
Not having the choice to dine indoors is so 2020. Make your appointment to be vaccinated today.
This message has been brought to you by the Government of the Bahamas in conjunction with the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas.
Best rate, no delays. Best rate, no delays.
BTC gives more savings on the best fiber internet. It's super fast with super savings in every package. Compare and see for yourself. Enjoy the best home internet experience for all your work, study, and entertainment.
Best rate, no delays. Best rate, no delays.
Visit a BTC store to sign up for the best internet experience on the Bahamas' best fiber network.
This is ZNS Total Sports.
Well, welcome to sports. In baseball news, Lucius Fox Jr. helping lead his Omaha Storm Chasers to a win in the regular season finale. Now the club shifts its focus to the postseason in AAA baseball. Fox hit one of the Storm Chasers 4 home runs on the night en route to a 10-3 win over the IOI Cubs. Fox finished 2 for 4 with 2 RBIs and 2 runs scored, while defensively he played both shortstop and center field. Omaha, who finished the season 66-54, finished the regular season 12 games over 500, has clinched the franchise's first winning season since 2015. Storm Chasers will now conclude the season in the AAA final stretch, which features 10 games, a 5-game series against the Indianapolis Indians, followed by another 5 games against the Cubs. According to the MILB, a 2021 regular season champion will be crowned in both the AAA East and the AAA West based on highest overall winning percentage through the originally scheduled championship season. And Bahamian swimmer Lamar Taylor got his 2021-2022 season underway this week when he helped his Henderson State University Red Wave men's team to a first-place finish at the inaugural Little Rock Invitational in Little Rock, Arkansas. Taylor swam in 4 races, 2 individual and 2 relays. He picked up a first and second place and finished in his individual races, helped his relay teams to first place. The Red Wave finished with 610 total points, beating out Cochita Baptist University, Williams Baptist University, and the host, University of the Ozarks. Taylor was able to swim away from the field of 22 swimmers in the 50-yard freestyle when he touched the wall in 20.85 seconds. Coming off a stellar 2020-2021 season as conference champions, Abigail Sims and the Indiana Tech women's tennis team competed at the IWU Fall Classic, gaining a pair of wins. Indiana Tech won over Olivet Nazarene University 5-zip and then Huntington University 4-zip. Sims won for Indiana Tech 6-1, 7-5 at number 3 singles flight over Olivet University. Against Huntington, the first flight of Sims and her partner Jean Gomez came away with a 6-1 victory to secure the doubles point. Indiana Tech, who is 4-0, returns to action September 29th with the start of the ITA Midwest Regional Championships hosted by Indiana Wesleyan University. And that's been a look at sports. A check on weather when we return.
Hurricane season is here, so now's the time to start checking off your list. Make note of what you have. Test your batteries, radio, flashlights, and the expiry date on your first aid kit. You may have to replace a few things. Then make sure you have at least 1 gallon of drinking water per day for each person, 2 weeks supply of non-perishable food, a cooler for ice, and if you have an infant, pack a bag of baby items. Keep spare toilet paper, paper towels, and sanitation wipes, along with cleanup supplies, trash bags, waterproof packaging for personal documents, and mosquito repellent. Have 2 extra face masks per person and enough hand sanitizer and life vests for everyone in the household. And have a plan. If shelter gets compromised, plan with household members beforehand how you will escape. That might mean having a knife, axe, crowbar, or other tool to pry open a door, window, or roofing in an emergency. For more information and a full hurricane prep checklist, visit ZNSBahamas.com.
It is important to take precautions to reduce your risk of getting infected with COVID-19, even when you go to the grocery store. Practice physical distancing that is 6 feet apart from others while you wait in line to enter the store. 1 person per household needs to go. Use wipes to disinfect the cart or basket handle that you select. Avoid touching your face, unnecessary items, and surfaces. Try to touch only what you are buying. So carry a grocery list to help you move along quickly. Do not forget to wear a cloth mask while you do your shopping and carry hand sanitizer with you. Practice physical distancing that is 6 feet apart from others as you shop and at the cash register. As little time as possible in the store and get enough groceries to last you for a while. Once your groceries are packed and loaded, use hand sanitizer and rub your hands together until they are completely dry. When you come home from the grocery store, take off your shoes at the door and put all of your grocery bags in one area. Disinfect your grocery bags. Rinse produce and wipe down cans and packages with soap and water before you put them away. Wash your hands thoroughly for 20 seconds when you are done. Wash your clothes and your reusable grocery bags.
This message has been brought to you by the Ministry of Health in conjunction with the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas.
Hurricane season is here, so now's the time to start checking off your list. Make note of what you have. Test your batteries, radio, flashlights, and the expiry date on your first aid kit. You may have to replace a few things. Then make sure you have at least 1 gallon of drinking water per day for each person, 2 weeks supply of non-perishable food, a cooler for ice, and if you have an infant, pack a bag of baby items. Keep spare toilet paper, paper towels, and sanitation wipes, along with cleanup supplies, trash bags, waterproof packaging for personal documents, and mosquito repellent. Have 2 extra face masks per person and enough hand sanitizer and life vests for everyone in the household. And have a plan. If shelter gets compromised, plan with household members beforehand how you will escape. That might mean having a knife, axe, crowbar, or other tool to pry open a door, window, or roofing in an emergency. For more information and a full hurricane prep checklist, visit ZNSBahamas.com.
I miss going out with my friends and dancing the night away.
I miss being asked to want to sit inside or outside at a restaurant.
I really miss traveling without having to get these COVID tests stuck up my nose.
I miss not having to wear a mask everywhere.
I miss going out to see a late night movie.
Want the pandemic to end? Make your appointment now to get vaccinated.
This message has been brought to you by the Government of the Bahamas in conjunction with the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas.
Dr. Pinder. During this global pandemic, we ask for you to be responsible. As we fight the COVID-19 virus together, we would like to encourage you to do the following. Wash your hands. Cover your mouth and nose with a flex elbow or tissue when coughing and sneezing. Practice social distancing by staying 6 feet apart. Avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth, and if you must go out, wear a mask. We stay here for you. Please stay home for us. To those of you on the front line, we salute you as we continue this fight together.
This message has been brought to you by the Ministry of Health in conjunction with GD Media Solutions and this television station.
Time now for weather.
In our final look at weather in the tropics, we have Hurricane Sam out there. It's some 1,200 miles to the east of the Leeward Islands, moving towards the west at about 14 miles per hour. Maximum sustained winds, 85 miles per hour. However, we do anticipate some rapid intensification tomorrow, and Sam could become a major hurricane with winds in excess of 110 miles by tomorrow afternoon. The good news is it will turn towards the north and west, and that should keep it well to the east of the Bahamas, but we'll continue to keep our eyes on Sam. And just this afternoon, another system formed. There's a tropical storm. This formed just to the north of Bermuda. It is called Teresa. That makes the 19th named storm for the system. And with 19, we only have 2 more on the list. And should we exhaust that list within the next couple of weeks, then we'll have to resort to what we call an alternate list, which has been approved by the World Meteorological Organization to replace the Greek alphabet. And then tropical moisture right across the northwest Bahamas, just ahead of a frontal system, which is also drifting our way. That will enhance the shower activity over the northwest Bahamas over the weekend, with isolated thunderstorms in the mix as well. Forecast for tonight calls for partly cloudy conditions with a thunderstorm or 2 in spots. The low temperature tonight, we're looking at 76 degrees. And tomorrow, variable cloudiness again with a couple of showers and thunderstorms, particularly in the late morning and afternoon hours. 87 degrees, that should be a high temperature tomorrow. And the extended weather forecast, once again, keeping you into the upper 80s during the daytime, and those mid-70s will continue at nighttime. Shower activities right into Monday. Thereafter, we expect some clearing on Tuesday with lots of sunshine returning to the forecast. And Germanita, just before I leave, my brother Dennis also celebrates a birthday today, and I hope he had a wonderful day. Germanita.
Well, thanks, Basil. That does it for the Bahamas tonight. We thank you for continuing to make ZNS your #1 news and information network. Only the sun covers the Bahamas better than ZNS. On behalf of the entire team, thanks for watching and good night.